That night, I had no idea how things were about to change in a big way. Leo's dad usually took him on a weekend work trip, but at the last minute, I asked him to stay home. It seemed like a simple request, but inside, I could sense a storm brewing, maybe because I felt it too. The morning felt strange as I made coffee in the kitchen. It was unusually quiet, and Leo was sitting at the table, supposed to be doing homework, but his mind seemed far away. Suddenly I asked him, "Leo, can you pass me that coffee?" My voice was softer than normal, as if I was holding back emotions. I felt a strange sensation inside me, but tried hard not to show it in my eyes. When he handed me the coffee, I held his hand a little longer than I should have, trying to communicate something unspoken. We stood in silence for a moment, and then I said, "Since it's just the two of us today, I want to talk about some things. Usually I'm calm, but today felt different. My instincts were telling me something wasn't right. Leo, you're not a kid anymore," I said, carefully choosing my words so there would be no secrets between us. I could see that my words impacted him. "Margot, what's going on? Why are you talking like this?" he asked, looking confused. I managed a small smile, one that felt more like revealing a puzzle than genuine warmth. "I've been thinking about the space between us, Leo," I continued softly. "Every day you're growing up, and it seems like there's something changing between us." I could see that he was nervous, his heart racing, probably feeling the same turmoil I was. "Margot, maybe you're just imagining things," he said, laughing lightly, but his smile didn't reach his eyes. I leaned in a little closer and lowered my voice. "But don't you feel it too, Leo? Something's changing between us, right?" I whispered, my words light but effective. He didn't respond right away because I knew he couldn't find the words. Everything felt blurry and confusing. "This is impossible, Margot," he finally said. "You're my dad's wife." I moved even closer, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "We're not hurting anyone. No one else needs to understand this," I said, my tone calm yet serious, feeling like I was uncovering something we both had kept tucked away for too long. I sensed him getting more confused, and honestly, I was too. Part of me recognized that this situation was messy, but another part just couldn't resist the connection we were forming. We sat there in silence, absorbing everything. I reached over and touched the pillow near him and said, "Leo, you know this isn't just a dream, right? What we have is real," maintaining eye contact the whole time. He took a deep breath and turned his head, likely wishing his racing thoughts would quiet down even for a moment. This connection we had felt wrong and complicated, yet somehow it seemed unavoidable. "People won't get it," Leo murmured, shaking his head. I smiled slowly, locking my gaze with his, determined not to let him turn away. "Not everyone needs to understand, Leo. The important thing is, we have to be truthful with ourselves." The tension between us was becoming harder to ignore, and I couldn't help but recognize it. That night marked a change. The walls I had built started to crumble, and there was no turning back. It was dark and rainy outside, with each raindrop hitting the roof echoing the turmoil inside me. I lit the fireplace and pretended to read, but I could feel Leo's eyes on me. Each step he took made my heart race, yet I was equally drawn to him. "Let's stay here until the storm passes," I said calmly, almost daring him to stay. He settled into a chair by the fire, and silence enveloped us. We kept glancing away, aware of the thick tension hanging in the air. "Do you know how much you love this house?" I asked, out of the blue, my eyes bright with old memories. He looked away, but I caught the hint of a smile he couldn't quite hide. Of course, Margot. I grew up here. All my childhood memories live within these walls, he replied. I continued, reminiscing. I remember you sliding down those stairs every morning while your dad had breakfast, chatting away before running to your room. None of us wanted things to change, right? He nodded, but I could see the warmth in his eyes. For a moment, it felt like we were transported back in time, reliving those memories together. The more we talked, the more buried feelings began to surface. I sometimes think we should have some boundaries, Leo, I said, but the idea of not seeing you anymore really scares me. I noticed the impact of my words on him. He looked at me, momentarily lost for words. We had both opened up too much to pull back now. I get it, Margot, he said softly. When I'm with you, I'm not sure what to say or feel, but I'm just happy to be here. His quiet admission lit something inside me. The flickering firelight cast shadows across my face, drawing out my emotions. Whenever you're here, Leo, everything seems to make sense. Maybe this connection we have is deeper than we realize, I whispered. We fell into silence once again, overwhelmed by everything between us. The pull felt like gravity, something we couldn't escape, even if we knew we probably should. As the rain began to lighten, I placed my hand gently on his shoulder, letting it linger for a moment. Together, we simply existed in that space, our feelings hanging in the air around us. I struggled to resist my feelings, but with Leo right next to me, the barriers I'd created began to crumble. When his hand rested on my leg, a wave of emotion surged through me, overwhelming everything we had kept bottled up. In that moment, our eyes locked, and we both sensed an undeniable connection that we couldn't describe. The only sound breaking the silence was the rapid beating of my heart. Margot, he whispered, his voice deep and rough. We're not really in control here, are we? I placed my hand over his, my throat tight with emotion. Leo, you're my stepson, I managed to say, but each word felt like a painful struggle. It seemed wrong, yet in this moment I felt utterly lost. My eyes felt heavy with unshed tears, but I couldn't pull away. I saw the same confusion in his eyes, and his fingers pressed harder against my leg. Margot, I can't lie. Part of me doesn't want this to end, he confessed, his voice wavering. No matter how much I try to fight it, I always find myself back here with you. I felt torn. I knew I should pull away, but his touch held me in place, right at the edge of a line we both knew we shouldn't cross. I pushed back slightly, but my body wouldn't respond. Leo, losing myself in this frightens me, I admitted, even as I leaned closer. This isn't right, but being here with you feels so intense. I tried to turn away, but I just couldn't. Whatever was happening between us blurred all my reasoning, and for a brief moment, it felt like the entire world had shrunk down to just this room, just the two of us. The heat radiating from him and the forbidden connection between us pulled me deeper, even when every part of me screamed to stop.